Prepare the bedazzle because today another video slated to commence. Today I'll be reacting to a video. Without further delay, without further procrastination, let's allow the frivolities, antics, and trivialities to commence.
Buying an electric vehicle right now could prove to be one of the worst financial decisions that you could make.
We just sold our Fisker Ocean for just $10,000. We bought this car last year for
Electric vehicles, I should say, or electric cars, typically deemed to be autonomous vehicles. Do they have an autopilot mode? The show knows.
almost 70 grand.
Don't buy electric cars. They are not worth it. They are such a trap.
So we're going to be talking about something that's come across my feed a little bit more often recently, and that is people regretting buying their electric vehicle. I know the car market as a whole has started to turn because people are finally not paying these ridiculous prices for normal vehicles, and the same goes for EVs. But if you bought at the peak of demand and paid over MSRP around 2020, 2021, it's really not looking good for you. Now there are a host of reasons we're going to be going over today, along with some comments from you guys from previous videos. So if you want to be featured on a future video, leave in the comments down below. But let's start off with this statistic.
A new study says that nearly half of electric vehicle owners are likely to switch back to gas. That's 46% of U.S. electric vehicle owners are leaning towards switching back to traditional gasoline cars. That's according to the McKinsey & Company survey. Respondents spanning the globe presented a wide range of reasons for switching back, with many saying charging was an issue. 35% cite that public charging infrastructure was not up to par, while 24% stated they could not charge at home, and 21% noted that they worry about charging was just too stressful. For reasons unrelated to charging, 34% reason total cost of ownership were too high, because insurance is higher, and 32% cited long distance traveling was impaired by these vehicles. 16% stated that they would have charged mobility requirements, and 13% stated they did not like the driving experience, which I find interesting. Maybe it's just too quiet.
Before we look at
I wonder why certain people are recalcitrant about purchasing electric cars. Bears lower fuel costs to sustain driving an electric car for a prolonged period of time relative to driving a gasoline powered car for a prolonged period of time.
the comments for this clip, I have to say that it's almost like a good amount of the people who bought an electric vehicle did no research on what that entails, being stressed over the charging stations, not being able to charge at your home, the range being limited, so of course long distance drives are going to be a challenge, but to me this seems pretty obvious right from the get-go. We're going to be seeing this a lot throughout this video, but we could take a look at some of the comments. Hybrid, you just can't cold turkey gas. The infrastructure nor technology is there for EVs yet. I agree with that. Now I know people go crazy over this topic online. It's a lot more divisive than I thought. Some people love EVs and some hate them, and they will go to war in the comments section almost every time. I'm not trying to be a hater in this video when we go over these clips. I don't mind EVs overall. I do agree with the comment. I don't think the infrastructure is there yet, and I'd like to see the technology advance in the future. Once you could get these vehicles to 500 or like 1,000 miles per charge, just absolutely blow gas vehicles out of the water. To me, it'd be a lot more enticing to get one to have a daily driver or commuter. Most are in the 2 to 3, maybe 400-mile range, but that doesn't include air conditioning or using the heat in the car. If it's cold outside, that hurts the battery range a lot too. So overall,
I presume that electric cars do not utilize oil and that they're comprised of fewer vehicular parts relative to gasoline-powered cars.
I'm saying I'm not an EV hater, but we are seeing a lot of people regretting buying their car.
This is a
PSA for anybody considering getting an electric vehicle. Don't. Just don't. That's all I can say. Dumbest I've ever done. Worst decision I've ever made. Pay $1,500 a month for a car that I can't drive because I'm never fucking charged. Because this is modern day Hunger Games. This is Hunger Games. You have to wait for 2 hours to get a charge. People are quite literally fighting at chargers. They're always broken. The infrastructure for these cars is non-existent. I would rather pay $200 for a tank of gas than to ever have to waste my time doing what I'm doing right now. I'm gonna file a class action. I think we should all get together and sue these. I'm suing everybody. Suing everybody. Electrify America, ChargePoint, Mercedes, Elon, just because he's weird. All you guys, give me gas. Let's go back to the normal times. Don't get an electric vehicle.
So again, it seems like you signed up for a $1,500 a month payment without doing a lick of research. So you were okay with the ridiculous payment, but you weren't able to get a charger set up at your own house?
Automobile loans, and the steep interest rate.
And then kind of throwing a temper tantrum saying you're going to sue, this isn't fair. It is just pretty funny to see, and we go look at the description. PSA for anyone considering getting an EV at Mercedes-Benz, so that means she's paying $1,500 for an electric Mercedes, which if you've seen any of the depreciation on them, we will see it a little bit later in this video, is brutal. At Electrify, at Elon Musk, which doesn't even have anything to do with Mercedes. Obviously that's Tesla, but she had a temper tantrum in this video basically. If you can't charge at home, it's not worth it. Charging at home is key. And then she even responds on Instagram. I did a follow-up video saying exactly this. I agree completely. Wouldn't you have thought about this before purchasing the vehicle though? Nope, I guess that just went right over her head. Getting an EV without installing your own charge port is wild. I don't know, this kind of sounds like flexing and getting the newest Mercedes EV on the block, paying $1,500 a month to show off to other people and not realizing everything else you have to do that's different, comparing it to a gas vehicle, and then blaming everyone under the sun instead of
Guys have a proclivity to profusely depreciate in value, especially as they accrue more wear and tear as a corollary of being driven for a prolonged period of time.
being accountable. But either way, we're really starting to see these EVs just tank in value. This is probably one of the worst examples I've seen.
We just sold our Fisker Ocean for just $10,000. We bought this car last year for almost 70 grand, and in that time, with just 7,583 miles in the odometer, it's dropped nearly $60,000, or more than 80% of its value. That means it cost us $7.78 per mile just to drive it. It quite literally would have been cheaper to drive everywhere. We had a ton of problems with the Ocean throughout our ownership experience, so it was only natural for us to have one more before we went to sell it. The car's 12-volt battery died, and the only way to access it was to pry off a panel from the front fascia, remove some screws, and open the hood, using that panel to prop it up since there's no strut, to finally be able to charge the battery. Needless to say, we're not going to miss this one.
Now, like I said, this is probably the worst one I've seen, $70,000 to 10. There are many examples online of people regretting buying their cars, trying to trade it in for a normal gas vehicle again, and realizing that they lost tens of thousands of dollars within a year or two, not 5 or 10.
Gasoline powered car is susceptible to becoming inoperable. It's not impervious to becoming inoperable, since car components can potentially become defective.
Years. This is happening so quickly. Mercedes EQS is pretty much the same as far as depreciation. We're going to see that a little bit later. Placed a $250 deposit in 2022. Happy I didn't go through with it. That guy really did dodge a bullet. Now we have a comment from you guys when I talked about the modern cars and the lack of quality. If you really want a good deal, buy a 7 or 8 year old electric vehicle. A second generation Nissan Leaf will get you 120 miles of range, and you won't have to worry about the engine or transmission. I mean, this might work if you live in a city. Of course, you're not going to be driving that much, and it is a pretty compact vehicle, so you'd be able to get around a little bit better. But we could take a look at somebody who instantly regretted buying this exact vehicle.
I'm ready to get rid of my Nissan Leaf. I can't. I bought a 2014 Nissan Leaf 5 days ago, y'all. I'm not electric girl, and that's okay. I already messaged the girl I bought it from. I'm like, look here. I don't have anxiety. Never have, and I pray I never will. But this right here, I need a charger? Thinking that I'm going to have to sit there for an hour? Yeah, that gives me anxiety. let me be serious for a second. And if you're electric car girly, please don't come to me in the comments. Okay, I love y'all, and I'm over here trying to save the environment too. I got this car very quickly, within hours. The price was great. The lady I was talking to was great. We spoke on the phone. She's still great.
It's like nobody does any research on anything they purchase ever. It was a good deal, so you bought it within hours and now have anxiety.
Is it possible to buy an electric car for less than $5,000 through the show notes?
Because you need to go to charging stations to charge an electric car. I feel like I almost completely 180'd from the beginning of this video already, saying that I didn't want to look like an EV hater, and now it looks like I'm defending them all the time because of all the poor choices these people are making. That's what I'm afraid of. My phone stays at 10%. I could just imagine my car. Another one, I got my used Nissan Leaf yesterday. Mine's holding 10 to 20 miles if that. I got scammed. There were some other clips that I saw with the same vehicle, people having a lot of problems with it. Again, you're talking about around a 10-year-old EV. You're most likely going to have some problems with that vehicle, but we could go over to the next clip.
So about a month in, I finally got an electric car. I had been waiting to do this for a while. I was just so pissed off with the amount I was spending at the gas pump each and every week. And I was like, yo, it's all good. I'm gonna get rid of this gas guzzler. I'm gonna get an electric car. Slow your roll. Here are 3 things you need to know before you get an electric car. See, this whole like miles and range game is kind of fake because my car gets over 300 miles, but if you use all the perks that come along with it, it's going to get a lot less than 300 miles. See, I listen to all these people who drive their electric vehicles like Bill Nye the Science Guy, but if you're a real driver and you're using all the amenities in the car, then the mileage is going to shrink. So pay attention to battery percentage, not the mileage.
Okay, so a couple things to go over. He ended up purchasing this EV because he was so tired of going.
Does an electric car have a surfeit of amenities? The show knows.
To the gas station paying money all the time. So he decided to purchase a BMW iX, which if you didn't know, the MSRP is $87,250. And if you got the iX M60, that starts at $111,500. So you wanted to save money on gas and you decided to buy an almost 6-figure or over 6-figure BMW to save money. I mean, make it make sense. Then the second thing about the range being a lie, if you use the air conditioning or the amenities, you're going to get significantly less range than what they're trying to advertise at the dealership, online, in any of their ads. But we could keep going with this clip.
People lie to you and they say, oh, well, if you can charge at home or at work, it's so easy breezy. At home, if you just plug your car into the wall, that's called a level 1 charge. And that's 120 volts, and it's usually going to take you 40 to 50 hours to charge your car. What you have to do is get a level 2 charger in your house. When you do that, then you can charge your car overnight. Same deal when you go to work. Usually it's a level 2 charger, but we're talking about 6 to 9 hours to fully charge your car. So if you're depending on that, you better have a spot where you can sit, because if you're at one of those places where every 4 hours they make you rotate, then you're not going to get a full charge at work. What I have learned is that when you're looking to charge your car quickly and completely, you want to find a DC fast.
The person owns his own real estate property and he could easily charge his electric car.
Fast charging station. See, I thought that, anywhere you went, you just plugged it in and it charged. That's not true. You want to look for some place that has between 150 kilowatts to 350 kilowatts. That's the holy grail, because then you can charge your car in minutes, like 30 minutes, instead of 3 to 4 hours.
But from what many are starting to realize, there are not a ton of them to go around. So you're getting the level 2 chargers and having to sit there all day online in front of other people's cars that are about to die. It really just doesn't seem like a good deal to me right now. We can look at a couple of the comments. Don't forget, when it gets cold, you're suddenly stranded. I can't remember who did the test, but it was a Ford F-150 Lightning that got about half of its advertised range when it was cold out. I mean, maybe if you live in Florida or California and you don't have winter weather, it'll be a better deal, but many of the states all over the country get to below freezing every single year. Hybrid is the best of both worlds. Time is money. Looking for a charging station and waiting 29 minutes to an hour, that adds up. But I guess, again, people didn't realize this before they purchase.
TikTok, I'm back at it again. This time we're charging from 20%. I've been there for 62 minutes and I'm at $20 almost. with 73%, it says it's gonna stop at 80. I don't have time for this though. I don't have an hour every day to charge my car.
I don't understand why people make such a huge investment with zero research. This is like my burner account. This is exactly what I'm talking about. Here's even more problems people were having.
This is why you own another vehicle. I got home last night. I forgot to plug my...
You should be grateful. And they bought an electric car.
in. So it's like 60 miles right now. There's no charge on it.
Reason 3,469 why I do not suggest getting an electric vehicle, or why I hate my electric vehicle. I have a 2024 Kia EV9, the GT line, and the reason for today is the fact that
It's a luxury for a car to have an autopilot mode embedded in it.
forgot that I needed to charge yesterday.
This is the shitty thing they don't tell you about electric cars. When you want to go ahead and charge it, you have to wait at these public charging stations. They all don't actually charge at 350 kilowatts like this car is rated. This is the Ioniq 6. And you have to wait, and these cars are going to take a long time. We're just sitting here. We're behind an ID4 who needs to wait. And now we're just waiting in here. I don't know how long this is going to take.
The dirty little secret is that you might actually have to wait to charge up. I would have never have guessed. A comment saying the exact same thing. Dirty secret, a secret. That's the most known thing about electric cars. Then we could go back to the first clip where the guy said this is why you need two vehicles if you own an electric vehicle, which I feel like defeats the purpose. Then you're going to have to spend twice the amount of money on some sort of gas or hybrid car, and then you have your EV. But the description says I need more range at Ford Motor Company. I said before I agree with that as well. It'd be a lot more intriguing if you get 500 miles per charge and the charging is a lot faster, but at the same time you still signed on a dotted line knowing what the estimated range was. So is it really Ford's fault? I don't know. Then we could take a look at a lot of the Tesla chargers compared to the rest.
Electric cars become more intricate in the pending future. Who the show knows the future is erratic.
Rest of the EVs and the problems with the charging infrastructure.
So here's the 411, okay? I went out and bought this thing for $150. There's a little connector here, so I can utilize the Tesla charging station connector, which is a totally goofy looking one right there, and it fits in that. But I called up Tesla, and what they told me was, I can't charge here. I don't have a Tesla. Anybody else experience this? It's a bunch, right? Frustrated.
So you have specifically Tesla charging stations, and then you have everybody else. So you buy some sort of third-party charger to try to use Teslas, and you're surprised that it didn't work? I mean, what am I supposed to say? Like, what do you expect? Some of the comments, go to the Dodge charging station. I'm gonna call the gas station and complain that I can't put diesel in my Toyota Highlander. I can't believe someone's bought that weak Dodge Charger. I think that's pretty funny too. I've only seen one on the road in my life so far. I
wonder if a customer is waiting at a charging station for hours on end for his electric car to be charged.
They've already canceled it as well. But keeping on the muscle car, sports car EVs, we have a comment right here. Electric car equals no clutch to burn out, exhaust to be replaced, turbo to blow, head gasket to pop, cat converter to be robbed, oil changes to be done, or spark plugs, and still has better acceleration. If you go to virtually any car person on the planet, this isn't really the best reason to buy an EV. Having better acceleration isn't the sole reason to buy one of these EVs. Many people like the sound of the engine. Many people like manual transmissions. It feels like you're more in tune with the car. There's a host of other reasons as well, but we can move on to the next clip.
Don't buy electric cars. They are not worth it. They are such a trap. They are just money pits, right? The fact that I already bought my car and now when I'm trying to sell it, it's 15 grand less than what I paid for like a year ago. I mean, that happened, whatever, it is what it is, right? But there isn't the infrastructure. There's no infrastructure for electric cars, right? You try and find a charger, guess what? It's broken. Your car starts bleeping, your car's gonna die. What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? Because there's no chargers around. Then you have to download this app, then you have to download that app. Like, when I first got an electric car, I can't lie, I done it because I wanted to save the planet, because I was a bit of a you go, princess. But now I'm just like, no, this like, do you know what I mean?
More charging stations be constructed in the pending future, the show notes.
How many panic attacks I've had because I've broken down on the motorway?
Now, her reasoning to buy the EV was to save the planet, which is fine, that's whatever. But many people, especially during COVID, ended up getting the new EVs from all the manufacturers to be able to show off to their friends and family and their neighbors. Look at how nice and fancy and new, and oh, this is electric. You have a gas car? It was basically the Prius episode from South Park, but with EVs, and people did not...
How many electric vehicle charging stations have been constructed? The show knows.
Not do the research. I sound like a broken record. It's crazy. Some of the comments, yes, we made a massive mistake buying an EV car. We lost $16,000. The original creator commented, oh no, I'm so sorry to hear that. Do you still have it? Which one did you buy? I have the Zoe 2019. It's a 2019 Renault Zoe. Maybe I'm saying that wrong, but they don't sell Renaults in the States. But it's now worth $4,000 when she paid 22 grand. That's rough.
I just found out yesterday that this car is worth $37,000 and I'm paying $900 a month. And on top of that, I've had to charge this car twice in the 3 days that I've had it because this range is 200 and it is not real miles. I have 150 miles on my car on the odometer and I've had to charge it twice. I love the car, love the interior. It has the... Love that. I just feel like I made a mistake and I feel like I'm about to lose out on a lot of money. $37,000 is not what I was expecting to come off the lot with. No hate towards Lexus, please get that. But I got this car thinking it was a $70,000 car and they were giving me a $20,000 price decrease and it pushed me to, you know, get the car even more. The fact that I got it appraised at $37,000 doesn't really sit with me the right way. The range, you guys, it's not for my lifestyle. I thought it was true miles. I looked up videos. She told me it was true miles. I'm just sad. I'm distraught. I don't know what to do. I feel like I made a very expensive, big mistake.
So you thought that you were getting one over on the Lexus dealership, the salesman, that this thing was worth $70,000 and 20...
People should be wary about electric car prices. In 1940, the median price of a new car was around $850. A person should abstain, desist, and refrain from expending over $50,000 to purchase a new car.
$1,000 off wasn't a red flag, and of course they push you to sign. That's their job. That's how they get their commission. And as soon as you drove it off the lot, there goes $13,000 instantly, and now you have buyer's remorse, and also paying $900 a month for it too. No way I'd get an electric car if I couldn't charge at home. Buyer's remorse there. You should get a cheaper car. Still going to lose 5 figures. $900 a month. Do you live in it? New cars depreciate like 60%, I've heard, and that's a good transition to what's up on screen right now. Buyers beware. Did you know that EVs depreciate faster than gas cars? Almost 30% faster. Here you can see the 5-year depreciation rate. I mean, we're talking 50 to 60. I mean, the Jaguar I-Pace is 72% depreciation in 5 years. And this is all across the board. We got a whole bunch of Teslas, Nissan, Jaguar, Hyundai, Kia, Porsche, Volkswagen, Chevy. I mean, all of them. I just don't get how you sign on the dotted line without knowing any of this.
What is my regret about being an EV owner? Recently, my wife and I went to attend an event. It was approximately 70 miles one way. And our electric vehicle will get at best, on a full charge, about 150. And when you start running air conditioner because it's warm, it's a lot less. So we were thinking of going, but the tickets were 40 pounds per person, total of 80, and then we would have to charge it. And that would be an additional about 50 or 60 pounds to charge it at a charge point. And we did that once before when we went to York Park and Ride to visit York. However, when we returned that night, it didn't fully charge and we lost access to the car and having to call our dealership to fix it.
So playing that game of chicken with the range on your EV does not sound like a fun time to me, but one of the comments from this video had me thinking, I've got no regrets with my EV. It'll run 330 miles in AC. Get a better EV. So because this guy most likely has an older model that only has about 150 miles, he should just scrap the whole thing, which means the depreciation makes it almost valueless, and now you have to go purchase a brand new one in that 300-mile range. But what kind of advances are we going to see 5 or 10 years down the road? I'm hoping 500 plus miles, 1,000 would be awesome, but then the exact same thing is going to happen with all the people buying today. But it's really starting to seem like these sales are grinding to a halt.
Why are Americans just not buying it when it comes to electric vehicles?
First of all, functionality. Obviously, EVs are terrific if you live in a very dense metropolitan area with easy access to charging stations and even a parking place that has chargers. But where it's not working is in rural America, because, you know, if you're driving over 200 miles a week, this starts to become a huge problem. But the other narrative that's very problematic.
Not every suburban area is replete with electric vehicle charging stations. At least that's my arbitrary assumption as of November of 2025.
Problematic for the entire EV market. EV power, in other words, the cost of filling up your battery, is not free anymore.
That's also what we heard earlier. The cost of these vehicles is higher than people thought. And another comment right here, because the cars are $50,000 plus. And we have a comment from you guys. I don't like touchscreens in cars. I prefer the older push buttons. I'll never buy a new car again. The only way electric cars will sell is if they're cheaper than gas cars. Hybrids are the way for the immediate future. And I think a lot of people are realizing this now, so we are seeing a ton of vehicles from the dealerships, these salesmen, trying to push these EVs that are absolute anchors on the lots to you guys so they can make a little bit of money.
Why I regret buying a Nissan Ariya? The rims are way too cool. I wanted a boring car. Heated seats and steering wheel. I'll be way too cozy in the winter. Built in Amazon Alexa. It's too convenient.
You can kind of get the gist of this video. It's just trying to play up all the features on this Nissan EV, and if I'm going to get one in the future, I highly doubt it's going to be a Nissan at the end of the day. But the description from Yark Auto Group, buyer's remorse? No, fear of missing out. I could almost guarantee you're going to have some buyer's remorse if you do purchase this thing.
There's a lot of cars on our lot, but I'm a...
Is it an act of prudence to purchase plug-in hybrid electric vehicle? You need to profusely drive a car to a distant job site with the show notes.
To tell you, this one is my favorite. Right down here, it is a 2025 GMC Sierra EV. 0% availability on financing as well. I mean, this vehicle is amazing. All of the creature features you could possibly think of, all of the comfort you could possibly think of. And look at this color.
Okay, so right off the bat, I didn't even know GMC made an EV for their Sierra after the Ford Lightning was not doing very well. Then Chevy came out with the Silverado one that's like $90,000. And I guess now GMC did the same thing. And of course, the salesman's trying to say that this is the nicest vehicle on the lot. It's so fancy and amazing that we have 0% APR financing. No, that's not a red flag at all. If it was really that nice, these would be flying off the lot, but clearly they're not. And the comments did not agree with their electric vehicle. Next year, it's going to be half price. They don't keep value.
Is it worth it to pay an exorbitant premium price? The car has ample amenities. The show knows.
All GMCs are complete junk, especially the EVs. They're just gas trucks with engines ripped out. Which I would say is what happened with a good amount of the manufacturers when they realized that Tesla was making a good amount of money. And these things are just sitting at the lot now, even when we're talking about the ultra luxury stuff. With the clientele that has unlimited amounts of money, they still don't want to buy it.
Mercedes is having a horrible time trying to sell the all-electric G-Wagon. This should come as no surprise to anyone, honestly. According to a Mercedes-Benz executive, the car is sitting like lead at dealers. It's a complete flop. Here you have a brand new electric G-Wagon listed for $208,000. Here you have a 2025 electric.
many vehicles are priced at over $200,000.
G-Wagon with only 3,000 miles listed for $152,000. So basically you drove off the lot and lost about 60 grand. Like, you should not be spending 200 grand on an all-electric car. Some dealers are doing up to $25,000 off MSRP on a brand new all-electric G-Wagon.
Now we could go over to the comments. I got a great lease deal, $2,500 down, $650 per month for 18 months. And there was a few replies that people were just calling that out because honestly, I would think that's a pretty good deal because at the end of the day, it still is a G-Wagon, but the next comment, price and range are the problem.
An anonymous Mercedes-Benz executive said that the G580 is a complete flop and they are sitting like lead at the dealerships. I can understand why he wanted to be anonymous. That is really, really intense criticism of this car. And it really is a shame because every one of these that we have sold, the clients love them.
I wonder what the profit margin is per electric car sold at a car dealership in 2025.
In fact, one of our most recent clients, a longtime VIP of the store, who has bought every cool car you can ever think about from the Mercedes-Benz lineup, said that it's the favorite car of his that he's ever owned as a daily driver. And he's had every G-Wagon you can think of, GT Pros, all of the fun stuff. So it's not a problem of the car itself. Is it really just that consumers hate EVs?
Real quick, we can look at the comments for the problems. 250 miles for $160,000. That's the problem. The Mercedes-Benz EQS, $115,000 new. 2 years later, $35,000. Just remember that comment for a second. No one wants anything with AMG on it that's not a twin-turbo V8. Very simple. The new C63 that I think has a V6 or a 4-cylinder. Now I need to look. It is. The C63 SC Performance has a 2-liter inline 4, and they are not selling well either. But of course, this is somebody who's making commission off of these cars and will tell you that his ultra-rich client who buys every cool Mercedes under the sun apparently likes the electric G-Wagon the most. Sure he does. But in the back of his mind, he 100% knows that anybody who's purchasing this is just going to have the exact same story with the EQS that he made a video about.
Somebody financed an EQ?
Yes.
What kind of EQ?
AQS 450/22.
Oh man, how much did he put down on that?
I don't know, but payout's roughly 60. He just put brand new tires on it, all 4 last month. That's one plus there, but he's looking to get into a new EQS lease.
So where'd this guy come from?
It's TikTok lead. I think he's in Oklahoma.
Wow. The value on this is actually scary. Holy cow, this is a lot of car for the money, like a used EQ.
Yeah, that could be decent equipment on it too.
Did he buy it used?
He bought it as a loaner. Is it $36,175?
Yeah.
It's tough.
I mean,
$112,000 car.
he knows, but that's why you don't buy these. You either lease them or you buy them super used, right? There's just not enough data yet for the used EV market.
Why would a person be enticed to purchase a new car and the autonomy to purchase a used car that's significantly lower priced relative to a used car?
I feel like people are like scared to buy used EVs.
Yeah, because they're still very new concepts.
So he's saying that you shouldn't own the EQS because of how bad these depreciate, but go and buy the new G-Wagon EV. I get it, he's trying to do his job and make more commissions and more money, but don't be one of these people falling into the trap. And if you truly do want an EV, just at least do some research. But that's all I got for you guys.
Conduct a research part of the habit of buying a car. It's a major purchase and decision if you're part of the low income economic class. I wonder if the median price of a new car will be over $100,000. By 2070, who shall knows? How many cars appreciate fiat currency value? Hopefully you're informed, but as a got captivated, as much news for and fascinated. Hopefully you're entrenched in the white epicness.